What is up, family? Like, I know it's been some time. Like, on here, I haven't really been going live, but I will say on my Facebook, which is just Amber Jewel, one word, um, I do my best to try to go live on some type of platform. And now my YouTube, I want to start to just upload more pics, upload more videos. Um, but today, I wanted to just give you guys just some knowledge based on the new information that I've uploaded through my journey. Um, Honestly, what I'll say is this is just so life changing, and you won't receive it until it's time. Learning about the mind, some of the things that I've took on is um, you can have whatever you want. It's lighting. You can really have whatever you want, and I got that from a note. This was April 29th of last year. This is probably just only like a week after I had joined, and I was listening to my mentors, Charles Dyson, Mr. Kingdom Cash, and also Paris Simmons. I am Top 5 Lifestyle. We were doing like a training, and there are things that you hear every day, but you don't even realize that you don't even really understand it. So for me, one of the notes that I wrote down, it said, "You can live your future today. The moment you understand this, your life will be changed forever." So I can only think of the most recent, but of course it's happened like multiple times in my life. And I even had to call my mentor on this one. And I was saying to myself, no way. So, like, long story short, my very first trip out to Georgia this year, back in March, I had bought a one-way, and I didn't know when I wanted to come back home, because of this new liberty of me just being able to go wherever I wanted to go. But having Jade, who is currently now 8 months at the time, she was sick, going on 6 actually. And my 2-year-old would actually be 3 next month, Emerald. I didn't want to keep them away from their dad. We're still together and happy and all that. But I said, I need my mom to meet her newest grandchild. I need my grandma to see her new great grandchild. And they need to spend some time with them. So going out there, I didn't know what time I was going to be back. But I said, I was like timing it, like trying to do a balance. Don't stay out too long. So I was like, all right, fine. April 1st, I'm going to come back. Purchased my ticket 2 weeks into coming back, which I reside in New York. And I think I bought it for March 31st. Yeah, I was like, how many days is March? Yeah, I bought it for the 31st. And long story short, not really even that long, but to just get to the end, like, I ended up missing my flight, and the next flight wasn't until the next day, April 1st. So I kept saying to myself, man, like, I wasn't upset that I missed my flight, but at the same time, it clicked for me. Like, in my mind, I had that I wanted to leave April 1st, although my ticket was for the 31st, or the 30 days of March. Oh, this is March 31st, yeah. Yeah, although my ticket was for the day before that. I'll just say that. And I just, like, that was my moment. That was the most recent for me, because I was like, although I didn't think I was sure, in my mind, for sure, I had April 1st in my mind, and that happened. So just sometimes it's just so good to go back to the information, because you don't understand it the same way as you start to develop. So another note I had was that people place limits on other people and sabotage. That's what I said. No, you said we do it to ourselves, which we do it to ourselves. That's a big thing. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And of course, everything is influenced from the outer world that we see. When you see people from a young age having multiple jobs, you think that's the it thing to do. So you try to get more jobs than them. And I guess it's more of a competition thing in my head. And now, as I look back on just the thought process I put into having a job, and knowing that I should always be doing this or be doing that, it's like, in another world, which is the new world that I'm in right now, it's like people are just gonna not listen. People are just gonna do whatever they want to do until they have a moment where they ran out of options or like hit rock bottom. But for me, it's my family, you know, like there are funerals that I couldn't make it to. There are, you know, weddings that I couldn't make it to because of work. Waiting to get approved for something that I want to do with my personal life. I have to ask from a work perspective. So there was just so many things like I'm a thinker, you know. But now that I'm understanding the mind, the goal is to think on what you actually want. God bless you, baby. And literally just align yourself with it, like focus. God bless you, baby. And that can really be challenging when you're not used to doing that, you know, like when you're not disciplined, when you can't make solid decisions. So, oh, God bless you. Well, that one was different. Sorry, sweetie. All right, all done, sweetie. All done, all done, all done, all done. So I would say, like, yo, when you really want change, like, there are just some things that you're willing to do. Okay, sweetie. Internally, like from a mental perspective, like you want to be able to say that you want something and actually go for it, not just talk about it. And when you see other people do that, it's easy for you to start to do that too. So yeah, there should be a season of cutting people off. Like for me, I think I probably had an emotional day about it, but after that day is like, all right, yeah, out. Like if you can't see what I want to see for all of us, then I just have to get it for myself and show you. But also what comes with that is me cutting you off for this moment. So I had to shut off a lot of family. And when you know the outcome because you're thinking about it, so it's going to happen and you're putting focus on it, you're not worried. That type of language doesn't even exist. Um, let's see, don't create the vision board and never experience the vision. So, like I said, this was April 29th of last year. So, if I could just change that up now, it's more my thought process is not a vision board, it's a vision environment, which I've learned from the community with Retired in 365. Like, you have to, like, you see my wall is naked right here, like, over to the right. It isn't. However, like, I'm about to, like, I've already talked to Javante about it. Like, we just have to really set our world up in imagination on things that we want because we already know we want it, but it starts in the mind and then it expresses itself in the physical form. So, like, posting pictures of the things that we know that we're already going to get, and knowing that it's going to happen, writing your happy and gratefuls down, like, literally every day. Which is why I'm also happy with the Retired in 365. We have the morning motivations because with that, we write 3 things that we're happy and grateful for. Pick 10, you know, but in our chat, we do 3. Yeah, set your intention, kind of like what I just said. If you're not believing the impossible is not really faith. And yeah, that's another thing, like, right, learning what faith really is. You hear that word a lot, like, but unless you. Unless you like really, really know what it is. Let's see, where was I? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Um, if you're not believing the impossible, it's not really faith. That's what it was. Yeah. Faith is the impossible. Faith is kind of like, you can, I guess, compare it to a miracle. Like, you don't really know how it happened, but you know how it happened. For me, like, I've seen myself live an entrepreneurship life, but I didn't know really what it entailed. Um, also see myself working at my job for the next 20 years, you know? So eventually my mind had to kind of like pick one. And I started to do that as much as I wanted to involve my work life in reference to the things that I did into my entrepreneurship life. It kept clashing. And that's when I was just like, all right, I don't know what's going to happen with this, but I see potential in it and I see something happening. So I resigned, you know, like there were other things that added to that, but officially it was just like, you know, when I weigh out what could be, I can paint the picture for this, and I'm still deciding on my work life, and I'm still deciding if I want to accept that. Whereas I can't paint the picture for this, but I can in my mind, you know. So again, it goes back to the mental capacities and learning about belief and things like that. So slowly but surely, for sure, it's happening, and I don't even think it's slowly. Honestly, I think it's just my mind catching up to what's already kind of happened, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, because you know, for me, like I'm surrounded. Um, And I guess on Zoom calls and things like that, I'm surrounded in an atmosphere of people who think as myself. In my physical being world, well, I really just try not to position myself to be around people that kind of not only don't have what I want, but they're not a part of what I'm currently doing because influence, you know, it's uh, just human nature for your mind to do those things. And that's how I realized how delicate the mind can be in reference to, you know, the subconscious with the girls being so fresh in this world. I'm very cautious on the things that they hear. And, you know, when you're around people who don't see it as that, and it's more like, oh, you're being extra or whatever the case may be, um, you don't want that to change what you've already put your solid foundation on. So, um, yeah, that's that. Let's see, to dream is free. To dream is so free. Like, try to pick the good dreams, you know, don't have any nightmares, and say that. The words you say out your mouth, like, I don't even know how to position this, but it's just like everything that, hopefully, I'm not even going on a rampage. It's like everything that you say, you can put it out there. Like, I'm just so happy and grateful that I am on here speaking to you guys. Like, I was so hesitant, you know, back in my past on what to say. When it's like you can literally talk to anything. And even, you know, the last video I had to with my fiance, like, you know, watching him, I seen myself when I first started because I was just so nervous. I didn't know what to talk about. I just wanted this. But you know, you're just awkward when you're trying something for the first time, something new at that. So, you know, personal development is just so important. It's so important in whatever you do, honestly. But you got to know you. You got to get to know what you like based on your internal factors. Um, become who you know is on. Become who you know is on paper. Decide to make the decision today. Right. When I hear those things, like, all you gotta do is decide. All you gotta do is decide. It's like people will say, including myself, I've fallen victim to this. People will say, I have made the decision. Like, I've made the decision to do it, but then you don't go do it. That's the terror barrier in your mind, like that you have to get past. These are certain things you just have to get past because Fear is unknown, just like faith. Yet we allow the fear to conquer. How do we do that? Why do we do that? Influence. So we gotta listen to some types of audios. We gotta like try to stay in the books. Like every book that my family has taught me to get, I've got, and it's helped to accelerate me to the next level. So I don't even think that's just pertaining in what I do. I think it's, like I said, it's pertaining in anything that you want to do in life. Like you just have to have certain foundations solid, and that'll definitely help the mood. That was 29th. On April 30th. You have to write it down. Whew, I can say that is like one of the most important things to do. Literally, one of the most important things you can do is write it down. What is your teachability index? Balance scale. How do you fit? So we had did like, like a balance scale: spiritual, mental, words, visual, emotion, gratitude, feeling, and then your natural versus your supernatural, technical skills, success, mind. So you want to know where you fall on all of those brackets, because um, you can now know where you need to develop one. And if I'm speaking for myself, I didn't think that I was spiritual. Um, I knew that my grandma told me to say my prayers every night. Hi, sweetie. Um, and I memorized them, of course. But again, now that I'm understanding words have power, um, those words mean a whole lot different now. Like now I'm reflecting really in detail on what I'm saying, and um, really putting forth the willpower to go after what I want. I'm reading the self-confidence formula on page 60 and Think and Grow Rich with Napoleon Hill. And really feeling it, like saying it every day. These things are important. Um, guys, I'm just so happy and grateful. Like, I have a tendency, like, when I talk serious about something, hey babe, when I talk serious about something, like I get really monotone, and it's almost like serious talk for me. Like, all right, I cannot be laughing about this. Like, this is something that I really have to tell you. Versus, people get cursed out just because they're trying to be serious. For me, there's no need for all of that, you know. But I do need you to listen to what I have to say, because it is important, and not important to just me, but important to the world. Like, you know, I I would like say something. I always would test myself. I would like say something and see how it makes me feel. Like, did I feel that? Or I guess a recording could say, "Jay, what are you doing, sweetie?" Yeah, I don't know. Hold on, baby. Excuse me, guys. Hold on, sweetie. No. Okay, okay. Hold on, baby. Okay, hold on. Sorry, thrown off. But like, I'm learning that, all of this stuff is like regular. Like, and I'm saying that because I want it to be regular. Like, I want this to feel, I want people to be able to relate to this and not feel like you have to be presented in a certain way. I have, like my grandma, she's from Jamaica, and there's a pride that comes with that. There's a way of being that I develop or I've inherited, based on my mom, my grandma, my dad, my grandfather. And in this new world, I'm learning that pride is like the worst thing to have, because it puts you, yeah, baby, it puts you in a state of mind of not, I guess, feeling like you can even ask for help. That sucks, if you really do need help and you your mind is not going to allow you to ask because of pride. How suckish is that? Like, it sucks. Yes, it is. Huh? Yes, baby. So I'm not going to take too much of your time. I really don't even do super long videos, but as I'm getting more relaxed with this, I'm going to be posting more YouTube videos, which I probably even said that. But again, for me, it's saying it out loud so that I'm reminding myself, I'm putting it in my schedules. It's happening. It is happening. And, I have the Potato 365 family to be so grateful for. I'm happy that I'm taking the approach to really step into my chairwoman and do these things because I've never had a position like this to say for myself, I'm in charge of me, like on an income, on a financial level. And I know for sure that people need this. They just don't know it yet because their paradigm is so deep into what they were born into that they can't even see themselves winning. God bless you, baby. You okay? So let's see. Do I want to say anything extra? I just definitely want to say I'm grateful for everybody and know that, yo, it's going to take some skills for you to learn to develop for you to really start to expose that outer things that you've been thinking. And this is the example of I'm always looking for people to help, always looking for people to serve myself and the whole Retired in 365 family and community. And you can inbox me on Messenger. Amber Joel is a one word. Um, yeah, that would be my main thing. Even Instagram, I'm starting to develop. Like now, I've got an Instagram as of this year. So, like I said, I'm doing my best to be live somewhere, and I'm getting stronger in each one. But yeah, if it's not on Messenger, Amber Jewel _29 is my Instagram. You can definitely DM me, and don't get scammed. I'm not out there yet, but I do live videos. So if there are no live videos on that Instagram and it's me, my profile pic of any of the nature, like that definitely isn't me. Amber does live. I go live on my Facebook as well. That's public. So I'm out here doing my due diligence of at least acknowledging live videos. But guys, feel free to allow me to assist you. Let's get you guys paid. The world needs to know about this information. It definitely starts in the mind, on the mental side. Literally, what we do is like 10%, I guess, pushing a button. And yeah, I just wish I had known about this 10 years ago. What? It'd have been amazing. It'd have been crazy. So, yeah, if you're 18 and up, I would love, love, love to partner with you because where I'm going in the moment, like right now, is very far, very, very far. And not only is that happening, but I'm speaking it to continue to happen. So, again, that's Messenger, Amber Jewel, AMBERJEWEL. And my Instagram is Amber Jewel _29. I love y'all. And yo, let's win the day. Let's win our lives. Let's help impact and empower everybody with this information. I'll holla at y'all soon.